Well, hello there, I'm Détroit. I have a fun idea for today. You know, sometimes I use a glove to draw. I use it every time I draw on my tablet, but I also use a drawing glove with ink or pencil sometimes to avoid smudges. However, it's always a drawing glove. I wonder if I can use any other sort of glove to draw with. This is the sort of challenge that is fun to do. I already know the result even before I start, but I still think it's funny to try. I'm drawing the baseline for now. I'm drawing without any glove to see if having a glove on will change the result. You can see that I opted for an A4 format piece of paper instead of my sketchbook. Some of the gloves I'll use are a bit big, so I prefer to have more room. About now, I should be starting with the first glove of the bunch. I put the gloves in order of increasing size and thickness, so the first one I'll use is a latex glove. This blue latex glove is something people often use in chemistry to do meticulous work, so I should be able to move freely with it. There is a catch though. This glove is the wrong size. It's way too small for me. I should have gotten a large instead of a medium size. My fingers barely fit, and there is a webbing between them where there's not enough material to follow the curves of my hand. In practice, what that does is make holding the pen more difficult. Between my thumb and my index finger, the material is so tense, the fountain pen can't even rest against my hand. It wants to bounce back, so I have to grab it with more strength. This was supposed to be one of the easiest gloves, and yet I'm already struggling. It's at this point where I've had enough and I switched the latex glove for another one that I realize I may have decided to draw a picture that is too big. If every glove feels like this one to draw with, it's gonna be hell. Thankfully, it's not the case with the second glove. This is my XP Pen glove that I use on my graphics tablet. I know this one fits my hand well, and it's made to draw. It feels good, I'm so used to it, it's second nature at this point. The way drawing gloves are made, they allow your hand to rest on any surface without contact with your skin. In turn, the thumb, index and major fingers are left free to be able to grip the pen naturally. This is why only my last two fingers are covered. It comes to no surprise that this is the best glove to draw with. If you clicked on the video trying to figure out what options you have in terms of drawing gloves, you can click away now. It's only gonna go downhill from there, starting with the third glove. This blue-gray glove I'm now wearing is certainly not something you would use to draw with, but hey, maybe it has potential. There is no way I'm gonna smudge the drawing, considering my entire hand is covered. This glove is comfortable. I normally use it when I bike to work during winter. I've also used it for Nordic skiing a couple times. It's good for both these uses because the part between the thumb and the index is reinforced slightly, so there is less friction from the handlebar of the bike or the straps of the ski poles. This particular pair of gloves though are pretty worn out, so I don't use them much. You know what? Let's rate the gloves I've been using. The latex glove is probably a 4 out of 10, because it is too small and I have just one. With a pair of the right size, I would say probably 7 out of 10. The drawing glove is an easy 9 out of 10. These biking gloves are 6 out of 10. Let's see what the next pair will do for us. This is a pair of brown leather gloves. These are for winter for sure, although their color goes well with an autumn mood. I believe these were my grandfather's, but I'm not sure. From the moment I put these on, I could tell they were way too big for drawing with. It's hard to hold the pen and it feels strange. The leather grips the pen a little bit, but you can definitely feel that this grip is different from skin grip. The simple fact that this pen is further away from both fingers holding it makes it harder to be precise with. During this entire video, I made my best effort to keep drawing the same pattern with little to no changes, and already it's proving to be challenging. When you just look at the drawing, it looks fine, but my concentration had to double to keep the pace. These are 5 out of 10, simply because it was worse than the last pair, but I can definitely draw longer with these than with the latex glove if I have to. At this point in the drawing process, I definitely regret making a doodle this large. If I had my doubts before, now I know. Anyway, let's move on to the next pair. It makes no sense, I know, but here is a pair of handiwork gloves. Repairman's gloves. I'm not sure of the right term. You would use these for construction work or woodworking. I haven't used this much. I use the left glove a bit more when I make wood carvings and wood whittling, just as a way to protect my fingers from the blade of my carving knives. It won't stop a swooping cut, but it will stop the blade when it rips straight. Like, you can press with the edge of the blade, but you can't cut, or else it doesn't protect you. For drawing purposes, these gloves are straight up bad. They are basically the same as the previous ones, but with less comfort. you can't hold the pen properly, you're not really precise, there is absolutely no reason to use these. 4 out of 10. They could be worse. As an example of worst gloves, these. The last on my list. They're not even gloves, they're mitts. These are my snowboarding mitts. They are very thick and not grippy at all. Comfort-wise, they're up there, but for drawing, easy 2 out of 10. How am I supposed to hold the pen with my index when my index is stuck with the other 3 fingers? Even taking the cap of the pen off, it was hard. I do love these gloves though. They are very good when it comes to their original purpose, skiing. They are warm and comfortable. They are large, so my fingers can be quite relaxed inside. These are made with Gore-Tex material, which is designed to breathe out but not in, meaning my hands don't sweat too much, and yet the humidity doesn't seep in at all. I've always found mitts more comfortable than gloves for snowboarding. Most gloves are thicker between the fingers where the seams are. It's also where they start to let humidity in. With mitts, no seam, no problem. I've used this glove for 2 years now and they are still pretty much in mint condition. I paid like 85 euros for them, so that's to be expected. I don't regret it, they're worth it. But again, that's for snowboarding. For drawing, they are shit. That's it, I'm done. I can't draw with gloves on anymore. This was a fun challenge, but the drawing is only half done and my fingers hurt from trying to grip and control the pen. It's a bit anticlimactic for the video, but at least now I can finish the doodle in peace. All the gloves shown today range between 2 out of 10 and 9 out of 10 for the drawing glove, and bare hands is definitely a 10 out of 10. You can't really get better than that. I can apply the slightest of pressures to the pen and it will move in just the right way. I can feel the angle of the pen on the Bristol paper even with my eyes closed. For the 2 pairs of leather gloves, I was afraid I would damage the nib of the fountain pen since I had no idea how much I was actually pressing the pen to the paper. The skiing mitt had better feedback even though movement was worse. But hey, at least now you know. You don't have to try for yourself. No, really, don't try for yourself. If you have to get a drawing glove, I heavily recommend the XP Pen glove. It's thin and synthetic, which feels really good for using on a graphics tablet. For paper, synthetic can still smudge pencil kinda easily. For pencil, I mostly use another drawing glove that is less synthetic and more cotton. However, it's kinda thick and less breathable, so I tend to sweat in it a bit more. I think I've basically said all I can about gloves. I don't think I've missed anything, but if you have any question, ask them in comments. Like the video if you found this funny, or useful, or satisfying to watch. And of course subscribe for more art videos. Check out my Instagram and my Twitter. I also have a coffee now, if you want to leave me a tip. All donations will go towards buying a new lamp to better light my drawing setup. I'm Detroit and my fingers hurt. Bye!